Okay, this is another question on bearing and distance, which says that y is 60 kilometers from x on a bearing of 135 degrees. Okay, z is 80 kilometers away from this same x on a bearing of 225 degrees. Then find the distance of z from y. Also find the bearing of z from y. So what we want to do is we are to interpret this question in a diagram interpretation. So we are to represent this with diagram. So let's start from this. Y is 60 kilometers from x, which means that you are to start the calculation of the bearing of y from this x. So I will start from x. So if this is my x, which has its bearing of the north, the south, west, and the east. So y is 60 kilometers on a bearing of 135 degree of this x. So 135 degree, I said that it is said that whenever you want to reach or you want to calculate bearing, always start from the north. So if you start from the north and you are to move in a clockwise direction, so when I move clockwise, I need 135. Definitely, this is one quadrant and the total is 90. Then 135 should fall in this second quadrant, which the total is 180. So 135 should be somewhere here. So this is 100 and this bearing here is 135 degrees, and that is what y. So I have my y at this position, which is 60 kilometers away from this x. So the next thing you want to do is you want to continue the statement. Z is 80 kilometers away from this same x on a bearing of 225 degrees. So I need to show from this same x, my z is 225 degrees. So starting from north, calculate 225. So that should fall in this quadrant. Since from here is 0, 90, 180, 225 should fall within here. So I will calculate and I stop somewhere such that from this total, the total I have here for this bearing, the total is 225 degrees, and the distance is what? 80 kilometers from x. So this is simply my z. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to find the distance of z from y. This is z, this is y. So the distance is this distance I'm looking at. So let the distance, since I don't know what distance is, let's say the distance should be x. So let's look for that unknown. But first, before you can look for something under this, you will notice that all the angles are just outside. I don't have any angle inside this triangle. Definitely, we have to find a way to put an angle in the triangle. And I have it that from this point to this point is 135. Also, from this north to this other line is 225. Then if from here to here is 135, then what would it be from this end to this end? So that should be 225 minus 135. So, and that should simply give me 90 degrees. So this is 90, 225 minus. So the angle here, angle theta, let's say is equals to 225 minus 135 degrees. So theta is 90 degrees. So the angle here is 90. Then since I have one angle and I have the three sides, I have three sides, I have this side, I have this side, I'm looking for the other side. So we can use the cosine rule. So I will labeling this place A, label this place B, and label this place C. So using the cosine rule, which is simply what? A square is equals to B square plus C square minus 2BC cos A. So if that is the cosine rule we are using, then it's just for me to continue by simply making some calculation on the other side. So we have it that a square, which is x, and that will simply give me x square is equals to b square, which is 80 square, plus c square, which is 60 square, minus 2 times b, which is 80, times c, which is 60, times cos a, times cos a. What is cos a? Cos a is the 90 degree, that is cos 90 degrees. Cos 90 degrees. So x square now, x square will be equals to 80 square is 66,400 plus 60 square, that's 3,600, minus Let me use the calculator. 2 times 80 times 60 multiply by cos 90 degrees, and that is 0. So remember, cos 90 degree is 0 degrees. So definitely everything here should be 0. So that is minus 0. And I will have my x squared to be equals to 6,400 plus 3,600. That is 10,000. So to get my x is simply the square root of 10,000, which is 100. So the square root of that is 100, which is 100 kilometer. So therefore, the distance of z from y is 100 kilometers. So I'll just say A is what? 100 kilometers. So the next thing I want to calculate is question B. And question B says, find the bearing of Z from Y. The next thing you want to do is you want to calculate the bearing of Z from Y, isn't it? So if that is the case, when we say the bearing of Z, this is Z. From this Y, we start your reading from the north of Y, and you have to calculate this total bearing of the line of Z. But how do I do that? I can't just come and conclude that this is a certain angle. So definitely I need to find this angle inside here. So let's say this is angle alpha. I need to find alpha. Since I already have the three sides now, and I have one angle, looking for the second angle, I can simply use sine rule. So for the B, using sine rule, using the sine rule, which is A over sine A equal to B over sine B. So that will simply be A, which is my x, which is 100. So that's 100 divided by sine A is the angle that this A is facing. That is sine 90 degrees is equals to B. What is B? 80 divided by sine B is this alpha. That is sine alpha. So when you cross multiply, you will simply have it that, let me finish it, continue it here. 100 times sine theta. So I will have it that sine alpha is equals to sine 90 degree, which is 1 times 80 divided by 100, and sine alpha is equals to 8 over 10, which is 4 over 5. So alpha is equals to the sine inverse of 4 over 5. So shift sine 4 divided by 5, shift sine and that is 53.13. So the alpha is 53.13. So let's approximate this to the nearest degree. So that's simply 53 degrees. So I've gotten this angle here as 53 degrees, but I'm still not done. I need to calculate this bearing. So remember, since I have it that from this point to this point is 135, and from this north to the south is 2 quadrants, which is 180. So 180 minus that 135, so definitely that should be 180 minus 135, that should be 45. So this place is 45 degrees. So when I transfer this based on the alternate angles, if here the angle here is 45, the angle at this back should also be 45 degrees. So if this place is 45, then definitely to calculate, and this place is 53, and to get this remaining one shouldn't be a problem. So let me clean this side and finish it up over there. So I will have it that the bearing B, the bearing of Z from Y is, the total angle at this point is 360. That's 360 degrees minus this one and this one. So minus the addition of these two. That is minus 53 degrees plus 45 degrees. And that is simply 360 degrees minus, that is 98 degrees. So 360 minus 98, 360 degrees minus 98, 262. So therefore, the bearing of Z from Y is equals to 262 degrees. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video.